There are moments in true crime when silence doesn't fade. It shatters. This week, the Amy Bradley case didn't quietly reopen. It exploded. A former police clerk stepped forward with a dangerous claim. He said he knew where Amy Bradley was. Not a theory, not a guess, a location. And he demanded $50,000 to reveal it. No preview. Pay first, or the truth disappears. But here's the detail that turned shock into fear. The same woman who recently claimed she had seen Amy Bradley alive vanished shortly after this demand surfaced. No message, no explanation. Her final words are now part of the investigation. Internal correspondence logs from early 2025 show the clerk learned something critical just before making contact. An audit was coming. Old evidence requests, long forgotten, were about to be reviewed, and his name appeared next to a file withdrawal that had never been explained. Within weeks, he contacted independent investigators. He said time was running out. He said the location was real. And he said the price was fixed. Then his story began to shift. 3 different versions. 3 different location references. None of them matching. Yet some details he mentioned were never public. That contradiction changed everything. Was he panicking? Or was he holding something he shouldn't? Then a leak surfaced. In 2025, a whistleblower memo reached investigative journalists. It described irregular access activity inside a police department. One line stood out. A restricted terminal had been used after hours, under a login that was supposed to be deactivated. That login matched the former clerk's old ID. No accusation was made. No name officially attached. But the timing was impossible to ignore. If access occurred before his financial collapse, then this wasn't a scam created from desperation. It may have been a reaction to discovery. Investigators examined his role. He was never an officer, never an investigator, only a clerical support employee. File routing, evidence logs, document handling. He had no authority to access sensitive case details. And yet, his claims suggest exposure far beyond his position. One unresolved discrepancy appears in his final year of employment. A file handover requiring supervisor review. That review never happened. No misconduct was proven, but the gap exists. Colleagues later confirmed that clerical staff sometimes encountered sensitive materials indirectly. Incidental exposure happens, but incidental exposure does not explain specific location knowledge. Then another detail surfaced. He left his position shortly after new digital access controls were introduced. After leaving, his life destabilized. Public records show mounting debt and civil disputes. Financial pressure increased, and so did the urgency of his claim. Investigators also noted a pattern in his communication. Bold statements, then backtracking, specific claims, then vague answers. He avoided formal reporting channels and demanded payment instead. That behavior raised serious red flags. Then came the audio messages. Several audio clips sent to investigators reveal something disturbing. His voice lowers. Long pauses interrupt his speech. His breathing becomes uneven. He repeatedly asks if the conversation is secure. In one message, he claims people question him about old files. That claim has never been verified. But his fear sounds real. Access records confirm he was never authorized to retrieve restricted case files. Yet he referenced information not found in public records. An audit summary also notes an unexplained after-hours login tied to a deactivated clerical account. The user was never identified. That single anomaly splits the case in 2 directions. Either he accessed something illegally, or someone else gave him fragments of information. Internal case catalogs add another layer. Several cruise-related disappearance files show missing supplemental documentation. One physical binder recorded years earlier could not be located. No conclusion was drawn. But missing records are never meaningless. The FBI has acknowledged delays and irregularities in early information handling. Not corruption, but unexplained interruptions. Unforwarded reports. Pause timelines. Something stopped information from moving. Then we return to the money. $50,000. Not symbolic. Calculated. High enough to suggest leverage. Low enough to feel attainable. He didn't act immediately. He waited months before making his move. That delay doesn't match typical extortion behavior. It matches someone who believed time was on his side, until suddenly it wasn't. He offered no proof. The woman who claimed to see Amy Bradley alive is gone. The clerk's story remains fractured, and the truth remains locked behind missing files, broken timelines, and unanswered fear. Until those gaps are filled, the Amy Bradley case is not closed. It is waiting,